This is Michael Elzie. Michael, tell everybody who you're with.
I'm working with Advocates for Children this year, directing and coordinating their Every Child's a Star talent show for this year. One of their biggest fundraisers.
What can we expect this afternoon?
Anything and everything. From my years of doing it, from when I was in it in 2005 and then returned for an encore performance in 2006, you see any talent that is available in this county. Everything from singing to knife juggling to martial arts, just anything and everything, like I said a second ago. We really don't know what to expect today.
So what kind of turnout do you usually have for these events?
Usually there's about, I think, 50 to 60 kids that try out, and of the 50 or 60, 25 will make it into the show.
So you don't mind if I film a little of it, put it on the show?
You go ahead and do it. That's fine with me, and I'm sure it'll be fine with everybody else.
Michael Elzie, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Dirty bit. Dirty bit. I can't be too high, light a fire, make it hot. I don't wanna take no pictures, I just wanna take some shots. So come on, let's go, let's lose control. Let's do it all night till we can't do it no more. I'm the party population rocking just like that.
That was very good. How long did it take you to learn that?
Probably about 30 minutes last night.
You're kidding me.
No.
So she's just a natural dancer.
She is.
That took you 30 minutes.
I dance at CK dance.
Oh, do you really? Okay, so you take dance.
Yes.
So, Mom, did you help at all, or did you stand back and watch?
I just
and say
stand
that
back
was good?
and watch. Let her instructor help her.
What's your name?
Chastity Collins.
And you're on our Facebook page.
Yes, I am.
I have a Facebook too.
You're too young to be on our
Yes,
page.
exactly.
You can't hang out. Well, she did exceptionally well.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
you're going to see this next week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you for being on
What do you
Cartersville
think?
UNCUT.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
letting that interview too.
Oh, glad to do it. Thank you. What school do you go to?
Cartersville Elementary.
Is it a good school? Is your teacher nice?
Miss James.
She
Emma
doesn't,
James.
she doesn't scream at you?
Well,
Uh-oh.
only at the bad kids.
Oh,
But I'm
only-
a good kid.
That's good. Nice to meet you. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Frank. You know, book smarts are great, but it really takes common sense to be competitive in today's business market. For 28 years, the IT professionals at Common Sense Computers have been designing software and integrating systems for all types of businesses. Whether you're using a database, mobile applications, or shop floor automation, let Common Sense help you solve your IT needs. Check out our website at www.commonsensesolutions.com and see what Common Sense can do for your business.
all the time is, what's your favorite thing to eat? And of course, I always say everything, because everything's good. Regardless if you like pork or chicken, we've got you covered, and we have the best vegetables ever. So come and eat at Slopes, so next time somebody asks you what's your favorite thing to
Michael Wilson. Michael, you are the owner of...
Choi Kwang Do, Cartersville.
How long you been doing this?
About 13 years now.
Really? How long's the studio been here?
We've been here in Cartersville as a full-time studio for, actually in this May we'll start our 7th year.
How's business?
Up until 2008 it was really, really good. 2009 came, of course the economy crumbled a little bit. We've been doing okay, hanging in there, but I won't say it's been good.
Are all karate studios the same?
Definitely not. Most of the places you go to these days will be competitive type of establishments where in order to move forward and to show your skill, you have to fight and compete against other members. What we do here is quite a bit different. It's non-competitive. Our main opponent here is ourselves. We're thriving to become better at not just our physical movements, but better people as well.
A street fighter compared to somebody in black belt in karate, or let me give you another. If Mike Tyson against Bruce Lee, what do you think?
Well, that's an easy one, Chuck Norris. Because everybody knows every good fighter is just Chuck Norris in disguise.
Okay, so you think Chuck Norris could take Mike Tyson at their peaks?
Oh, most definitely. As long as he stayed away from the ears.
Okay, can you teach, somebody has a basic street fighting ability. It's just natural, animalistic, it's just natural. Can you teach that to somebody to combat, or is that just something you have to be born with?
That's kind of a yes and no question. There are a lot of people that are born with just a natural ability as far as physical capability is concerned. It is something that can be learned, but as far as comparing the two, that's a real tough comparison to do.
Okay, you say to move up the ranks in your studio, they don't actually have to fight somebody.
That's correct. Each curriculum we have as far as the different belt assignments, they're assigned with specific tasks, speed drills for anaerobic, patterns for aerobic. We do kicking and punching instead of on a live person. We do them on a little safer target that's filled with air, so that way you can still get all the benefits of kicking and punching something full strength, strengthening the bones and muscles, but it's not an unsafe activity for the person on the other side of the kicks and punches.
How do you know if they don't actually fight that they could actually use it?
That's a very good question. What we're learning is actually reaction, is training your brain to be able to react without having to send the signals up for processing and then back down to the muscles to be executed. So what we're doing here is developing muscle memory. And even if you don't have to go up and punch somebody every day to see how strong you are, you know how strong you're becoming because you can see it. When you punch the shield each time, you can feel your strength getting more. You can see the instructors actually giving more as your power increases when they're holding the shields.
So this is just repetition over and over, and eventually it'll just be ingrained?
Most definitely, yes, sir. Anything, not just here in the martial arts or Choi Kwang Do, but pretty much anything in life is going to be that way. The more you practice it, the more it becomes second nature, and the less you have to stress your brain to do the activity. Baseball, football, soccer, any of those activities, the members that are practicing them are constantly doing the same drills over and over and over, trying to develop that muscle memory.
Do you ever have any students that come to you and say, I had to use it?
We do occasionally. It's not too often because we do teach our members to avoid unsafe situations, but occasionally we do run into situations that we can't avoid. And we express with the kids to make sure you go through the right measures before you use your martial arts to defend yourself. We ask them to talk to the parents, the teachers, make sure that all the adults are in understanding of what's going on before they physically have to defend themselves. And as far as adults, it's pretty self-explanatory. We pretty much know when we're in a situation in which we can't talk our way or get out of the situation. And from that point, it's very likely to use the self-defense techniques we learned.
What's the age you take in here?
We start at 3 years old. The oldest student at this particular academy is 70, and the oldest student in our particular martial arts style is 99.
All right, Michael Wilson, tell everybody name of your studio and where you're located.
It's Choi Kwang Do Martial Arts in Cartersville. We're located on Joe Frank Harris Parkway, 41 for those who haven't lived here very long, and we're in the Ideal Sports Center across from the State Patrol DMV office.
And phone number or anything?
Phone number is 678-721-5166, and you can find us on the web at cartersvilleckd.com.
Michael Wilson, thank you for joining us on Cartersville Uncut.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Catherine. I'm at Cletus Tees. Have you been to Cletus Tees yet? We have so much fun here at Cletus Tees. Do you like to line dance and shake your booty? Friday nights is line dancing. Do you like to line dance? Saturday nights they have live bands. Do you like live bands? As the night goes on, we like to dance in the bar at Cletus Tees. Don't forget, my name is Catherine, and I'm waitress here at Cletus Tees, and I would love to see you. So if you stop by, don't forget to tell me hey.
Hello, I'm James.
And I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're the owners of JDH Electric. At JDH Electric, we can service all of your electrical needs. If it's in your home, your office, your industrial facility, anywhere that you currently need electrical service, we can help you. If you need electrical service, give us a call, 770-607-6900. At JDH Electric, we look forward to serving you for this generation.
Generations to come.
State Senator Barry Loudermilk. Good to see you, Barry.
Well, it's good to be with you, Dave.
All right, what are the differences from going from a rep to a state senator?
Well, primarily there are a few senators, so there's more opportunity to do things. Fewer people you have to convince to get legislation through. There's a different set of rules, a different set of protocols, so there's a lot of things to get used to. Even though I'm only moving about 60 feet across the hall, it's almost seems like a different world sometimes. But you know, the legislation that you hear is going to be the same, and ultimately the same Constitution governs the House and the Senate. So overall, I think the changes will be minimal.
What committees are you on?
Well, I'm chairing the Science and Technology Committee, which is a growing committee. Since 6 years I was in the House, I was on the Science and Technology Committee, and each year we're getting more and more legislation as we rely more on technology and there's new emerging sciences. I'm also Vice Chair of the Defense and Homeland Security and Veterans Affairs Committee. I'll be serving on the Transportation Committee in the Senate as I did in the House for 6 years, and I'm also going to be serving with the Economic Development Committee, which I think is important for this area.
All right, with the science and technology, where do you stand on stem cell research?
Well, that's been one of the issues that we've heard a lot lately. I believe that there's a lot that can be learned from stem cells, but I think those stem cells need to be adult stem cells, not from embryos. And there's many scientists out there that says that we can get just as many or just as quality research without using aborted embryos. So I'm all for stem cell research, but not at the cost of human life.
All right, the other committee you were on was, what was that, the second one you said you're the vice chair, what was that?
It's Veterans Affairs, Defense, and Homeland Security.
All right, Defense and Homeland Security. A lot of rules are coming forward. Is this hurting or hampering our freedom?
There is, especially from the federal government level. There's big concerns over the Patriot Act in the past, which has a tendency to violate some constitutional rights and freedoms, the Real ID Act. These are some things that at the state level we have to be, our number one responsibility as elected officials is to uphold the Constitution and those individual God-given rights that people have. So these are some of the things that we'll be looking at is there is a balance between safety and government power, and as Benjamin Franklin said, those who will trade in liberty for safety deserve neither.
You think we've been doing that on a federal level?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's no question that we have lost a lot of our freedoms and liberties over the past several years in the name of safety and security.
So you would stand in the way or do the best you could to stand in the way in any you would not trade a freedom for safety?
No, not if it's a constitutionally protected freedom that as God has given folks. I mean, a great example of fights that we've been doing recently is over the red light cameras. There are many that believe that red light cameras are all about safety. My argument with the red light cameras has all been it's a violation of the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, because the way the red light cameras work is they take a picture of your tag, and then you get a ticket in the mail that says pay this citation unless you can prove you weren't the driver of the vehicle. So they're making an assumption that because you own the vehicle that you were the driver, and then they're making you prove it. The Fifth Amendment says the government has to prove your guilt for you not to prove your innocence. And so these are the types of things, in the name of safety, we violated a lot of constitutional rights.
The Constitution's being waved around a lot out now. Every talk show host, everybody I see on TV is saying, everybody's saying Constitution. Do you think they know the Constitution?
Most people have a soundbite understanding of the Constitution.
What does that mean?
That means that they've heard somebody else say it on the radio or television. Many of the folks citing the Constitution, I don't believe, have actually sat down and read the Constitution, and those that have, they haven't read it in the light that it was written. And I tell most people that you can't understand the Constitution unless you have a deep understanding of the Declaration and the philosophy of our founding fathers. And so you have to get an understanding of the Declaration, their philosophies of limited government and the transfer of power and the non-transferable rights given by God. Once you get the ideas of our founders and their philosophical beliefs, then it's a lot easier to understand the Constitution. But you have to not only read the Constitution, but you have to analyze it and understand that it is a limitation on government. It isn't an empowerment of government. It is a limitation on the powers of government that they have derived from the consent of the people.
At the federal level, are they following the Constitution?
Probably. In most cases, not. I mean, you can see in the last
Obama
few years,
healthcare.
Obama healthcare is a blatant violation of the constitutional authority. There is nothing in the Constitution that gives the federal government any power or authority to regulate or to mandate healthcare whatsoever. Any even regulation of healthcare is a power reserved to the states under the 10th Amendment. There is no federal authority for that whatsoever in the Constitution.
Then how do they do it?
Well, a lot of them use the idea that's in the preamble of promote the general welfare. Well, you have to define that term. Was understood back during that time was welfare was more of a commerce word used to define economic value or commerce, the ability to achieve. But it also says promote the general welfare, not to provide the general welfare. But many use that idea as that's what the founders intended, is to have a welfare state. Well, it's far from what they intended. They also use the Interstate Commerce Clause to pass a lot of regulation and legislation that takes power away from the states. Well, in this particular case, in Obama healthcare, the Interstate Commerce Clause regulates commerce between states. Well, health insurance is one thing that you can't buy between states. So there's several constitutional violations in the healthcare law.
Your state senator, anything just that is do you have any particular agenda over the next couple of years you'd really like to see addressed?
I think overall, I want to see us get back to the type of limited government that our founders intended, which is a government that's small in size, limited in scope, and that remembers that it derives its power from the consent of the people, and they can take that power back at any time. I think we need to scale back government to the type of government that the founders intended it to be, which is very limited. And there's a lot of different ways that we have to do that. We have to protect civil liberties of our people. We have to take our sovereignty back as a state government, understanding the federal government has a set of powers, but it's limited, and we have to ensure that we hold them together. Budget is always going to be an issue. I think this is a great opportunity for the Georgia government to prove once again that we can balance the budget without putting the burden on the taxpayers, but by cutting spending and streamlining our operations.
State Senator Barry Loudermilk, thank you for joining us on Cartersville Uncut.
It's my pleasure.
Louis. What can I get for you? Hey, welcome to Louis. We're here Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 2. We do breakfast and lunch. We have call-ahead order, catering, drive-through service. Anything that you need, we can take care of you. And we're now open on Fridays from 5:30 to 9 for dinner, coffee and desserts, and we're also open on Saturday for full breakfast and lunch from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you soon.
We have Grandma's chicken salad.
We have fresh baked muffins and tasty treats.
We have sub sandwiches and hot grilled paninis on homemade bread.
And don't forget about our coffee. We've got a specialty house blend that's roasted for us weekly, as well as a full line of coffee espresso drinks. And we can make them how you like.
We can't wait to see you at Louis Cafe.
This is Patty Eager. She is with Advocates for Children. What is your title here, Patty?
I'm the executive director.
And how long have you been doing that?
13 long years.
Do you enjoy your work?
Love it. I'm one of those people who can't wait to get up and get to work in the morning.
Explain to everybody, what is Advocates for Children?
Well, we're a nonprofit, a private standalone nonprofit, which means that we're not part of a larger organization. And we're all about child abuse prevention and helping those who are already the victims of child abuse with a variety of programs, from the Children's Shelter, CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, Supervised Visitation, Children's Advocacy Center, Rainbows, anything that children need in order to get a better chance of having some hope for their future.
Now, part of your center or your home, what do you call this place?
Well, we call it the Advocates main building. One end of it is actually the Children's Shelter, and the other end is our administration building.
We've been just taking a tour, and you're showing me the rooms and how the kids, it looks like they have a lot of freedom here.
The kids do have freedom. They're not locked up. They have done nothing wrong. The children who are here because the adults in their lives have not done right by them. But they're not here as punishment in any way. They're here to have a nice, safe place to be for a while the adults in their lives work out where their forever home, forever family will end up being.
And I've seen a few of the children, and I've seen your interaction. It looks like they're happy.
Of course they're happy.
Well, I mean, it does. It looks like they're happy.
Well,
I mean, one kid was very excited about a spelling bee.
He did. He came in. He wanted to tell us all that he won his classroom spelling bee. He's been working on the word ricochet all week long. I don't think he got that one, actually. But he was so excited. We're all his moms and dads. It's a wonderful, uplifting place to work, and it's a wonderful place for the kids to be temporarily.
When you say temporarily, what do you mean by temporarily?
Well, the children stay here anywhere between a few days and many months. We've actually had somebody who stayed here more than 2 years. But we're here as long as it takes for the children to find, not that they have to find their own place, but where the people, the defects people, the people who are here, whoever's in their life who comes forward and says, yes, I want to be a family for this child. Let him go home, or let him go to a different semblance of home, or actually possibly be adopted, or any of those kinds of possibilities.
You have a nice place. Very nice, very comfortable back there. And
it is. It's a
Duck Derby's coming up.
Duck Derby is before we know it.
When is the Duck Derby?
The Duck Derby is May the 14th this year, Saturday, May the 14th. This is our 10th annual Duck Derby, and we're really excited about that. It's Duck Derby 10, so we're doing it as if it were a Super Bowl theme, with a big old X on the front of the Super Duck, and it's quite a milestone for us to be in the 10th year of having Duck Derby.
Last year, it seemed like everybody was trying to sell me a duck.
Well, I hope you bought one for
Yes,
everybody.
I did. How do you get so many people involved with that?
Well, we have a compelling story, and we thank people like you for helping us get that word out. We're going to have wonderful sales teams this year. You can start a sales team or find one with people that you work with or in your neighborhood. And we get the word out every way we can. We do it social media, we do print media, TV, and lots of word of mouth.
How did you do last year?
Last year we had one of our best years, not our very best year, but we sold something like 21,500 ducks.
Wow.
And that was really a wonderful thing. Every one of those was $5 that somebody donated to Advocates, and it's absolutely delightful to see all those ducks go streaming down the river, and to know that every single one of them was adopted by somebody who cares about
Oh, I
what we
enjoy.
do.
I went last year. It was my very first one I went to last year, and I had a good time.
It's very fun. The whole day is fun. There's lots for the kids to do. You can really make a day of it. We have vendors. You can go and eat all kinds of stuff that's not good for you, and get ready for the duck race.
Going to give away a car again this year?
We're going to give away a car. We actually just found out that we have a choice. We're going to have a Kia Forte and a Hyundai Elantra, and the winner of the duck race gets to choose which of the cars they want.
Wow.
That's the first. That's going to be wonderful. They're being donated by the Terry Reed Group.
If anybody wants to get involved,
call us. Call us at 770-387-1143 or visit advochild.org on the internet. You can look up Quacky's Facebook page. There are all kinds of ways to get in touch with us, but give us a call. We've got volunteer opportunities in the duck race, and all over. Pretty much every one of our programs uses volunteers.
Patty at Advocates for Children, thank you for joining us on Cartersville Uncut.
Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
Hey folks, Bob Smith, the owner of the City Cellar Restaurant here in Cartersville, Georgia. Hey, I want you to know we got a train going by here. We got train shots. Every time the train goes by, we ring a bell, get a train shot for $1. I got live music on Thursday nights down here. I got some jazz, I got some acoustics. Friday night and Saturday night, man, what a blast we have upstairs in the loft. Local talent showing their wares. Y'all got to come see it. It's good stuff. The best north of Atlanta.
We had a special guest up here today with us. This is Delane Ross, and I'm going to let her tell a little bit about herself.
Hey, I'm Delane Ross, RKC team leader. I have a kettlebell gym downtown called Condition. If you're ever in town, come check it out. Came up here today, we worked on some basics, some intermediate stuff, got a good workout in, had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming up, Delane. Thank you. Y'all come see us at Maximum Body Training.